Hey guys, welcome back to RWM Finance. Today I wanted to talk with y'all about the 5 simple finance tips that you can do. They really are just so simple that I know that you can do them. I know some people feel like they just get stuck in a pattern or in a habit and they just feel like that they can't change. But you can. You can change. You can break your spending habits. To some people, finances, money, and investing, they're just like another language to them. So it's an intimidating topic, and they would just rather stick with what they know rather than try and learn something new because they're scared. And some people just don't want to change. They don't understand finances and they try and avoid conversations about it. Or they might even get mad about those types of conversations and they're just perfectly fine not knowing about them. So if you haven't subscribed, please scroll down and click that subscribe button for me and we'll get to those 5 finance tips. Now, I have no clue what type of person you are, but I know that these 5 finance tips that I'm about to share with y'all today are simple enough that you can do them. No matter if you have an accounting degree, a $1 million portfolio, or you're just starting your financial journey, you can do these tips. So, let's get to them. Tip number 1 is to spend less. Try to cut excess spending every month because the best way to save money is to cut expenses. Print out last month's bank statement and highlight every item that was purchased that was a want item. This can be a real eye-opener to a lot of people. It can be a hard pill to swallow seeing how many of our daily or weekly habits can drain your wallet drastically. But if you were to create a budget and were disciplined enough to stick to it, it can really help you have more money. Because like I said, the best way to save money is to cut expenses. Tip number 2 is assets only. Only spend your money on things that will make you more money. Assets are purchases that will put money into your pocket, while liabilities are things that will take money out of your pocket. Robert Kiyosaki said that his rich dad told him, "It is better to work years creating an asset rather than to spend your life working hard for money to create someone else's." If you're looking to grow your wealth, it is important to create your own assets. So save up and buy a rent house or something, or start a side hustle and buy your equipment. And it might start small, but work a few years at it and continue growing it, and it could be the next big thing. Moral of the story is to spend your money on things that will make you more money. Now, I get that we have things that we need to spend money on besides assets, which brings me to my next tip, tip number 3. Tip number 3 is to cover your bills. Make sure to always pay off your debts. I know that we can't just spend our money only on assets, so make sure to cover your bills and pay off your debts. You know that if you are having trouble paying or covering your bills, then maybe you should try cutting some of your expenses. You know, maybe you cut out Netflix and Apple Music until you are finished paying off whatever debt it is you have. Covering your bills and cutting expenses or spending less really seem to work in unison with one another to me. Because if you can't cover your bills, it is likely that you're spending too much. So give that some thought next time before you go out for lunch. Will you be able to pay your car note, house note, insurance, or any other bills that you may have? Our 4th tip is to invest more. Learn to set aside money to invest with. Because Warren Buffett says if you only have one source of income, then you need to make investments to create a second source. But also invest in yourself more. Learn a new skill or try and improve the skills that you already have. First thing is, if you're going to invest, then you need to know a thing or two about investing. So pick up a book and learn something about investing. Which reminds me that I have some great books down in the description bar below about investing, so make sure to check those out if you're trying to improve your investing game. Look, a savings account is great for an emergency fund or money that you are going to need at a certain time. But if you're looking to grow your money for the long term, then you need to invest your money because inflation is eating away at your buying power. So if your money isn't growing, you are basically losing money due to inflation. So set aside some money each week, 2 weeks, month, or whenever you get paid and use it to invest. This brings me to my last tip, which is tip number 5. Tip number 5 is to cut out luxuries. Stop spending money on things that you don't really need. Basically, what this means is to stop showing off. Like I said, the best way to save money is to cut out expenses. So you know what that means? You guessed it, stop showing off. That fancy car? Nope, not worth the expensive note. When a used one will do the job just fine. That nice watch? No, No point in dropping that kind of cash on something that's just going to tell you the time. Find one that's cheaper. Those designer clothes? Nope. There's no need to pay that kind of money for clothes. Look up pictures of the richest people in the world and tell me what they're wearing. I'll tell you, some basic clothing. That's what it is, nothing fancy. But if you think that you need some crazy nice stuff just so you can fit in with your friends, then, maybe it's about time you found some new friends. The rich stay rich because they cut out needless expenses. And they got rich because they learned to live below their means. Maybe you should try it and see what happens. Now, are those 5 tips that I just shared with y'all really that hard to do? No, you can do those just fine, I promise you. So, what's keeping you from getting started? Nothing. Now that you know these 5 simple finance tips, go out there and get started. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, scroll down, give it a like, and subscribe to the channel below. Also, if you have any questions, please leave those down in the comment section. I will personally try and respond to each and every one of them. Follow us on Instagram at RWM Finance. Remember to check out the list of books in the description bar below. There are some really good ones down there. Check them out and they will really help you out. I know they have really helped me out personally. Also, remember that I post videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so make sure to tune in for the next one. As always, thank y'all for watching, and I will see y'all in the next video.